Hi, I'm Tony Northrup, and for my Lightroom video training series, I'd like to cover some free Lightroom tools and plugins. First, let's start out with the published tools in Lightroom, which are terribly useful. When you jump into Lightroom here, you'll see them under the published services in the library module. And they have a few built in by default. Hard drive just exports your files as normal. Behance is some social network or something that I don't use, but I do use Flickr and Facebook. So all you need to do is to click Setup here, and then type a description like Tony's Flickr, and then click Authorize. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up the website and have you log in. And once you log in, you'll be prompted to allow Lightroom to connect to the app so that it can post messages on your behalf and such. Let's jump into the catalog and we'll publish a picture to Facebook. Okay. There's a picture of Chelsea. Everybody's going to wonder why I'm publishing this all of a sudden, but I'll drag it over here. And when I do that, it doesn't yet publish it. So then when I select the album here, you'll see I have published photos, things that I've published here before, and then new photos to publish, things that are not yet published. So when you drag it in there, it's kind of waiting in the queue. All you have to do is click the Publish button, and you'll see it updates it, uploads it, and gives you a needless warning that I'll just clear. But now I can jump into my Facebook page. Yep, there's the picture. Pops right up. So those published services are useful, and they're a really quick way to share photos online. But there's only like Facebook and Flickr and whatever Behance is. You probably want some other social networks, right? Well, there's published services for just about any social network you can imagine. So let's just Google 500px. Lightroom plugin. And sure enough, right on the official Adobe website, we can get the free 500px plugin. I'll just open that up, and then you can see it comes in a zip file, and this is pretty common. You'll want to extract that, and this is going to be different on every computer, but every computer has a built-in way to extract zip files, including Macs. And so now we can see it's under my downloads folder here. So now all I need to do is to go back into Lightroom and then install a new plugin. So I'll go to the File menu and select Plugin Manager, and then I'll click Add. And now I'll paste the folder in there, just jumping back to where I saved it, and find the LR plugin folder. It's not a file, it's a folder with a .lr plugin extension, and then I'll click Select Folder. And this is going to import the 500px plugin, and it wants to update my catalog, so I'll allow that. So now I can click Done, and you'll see 500px is now here too. So all I need to do then is click Setup and go through the prompts. You'll have to log in with this, and then there's a lot of things specific to the configuration of 500px that you'll need to fill out. My goal isn't to show you how to use 500px, but rather, whatever social network you'd like to use, you can probably find a plugin for it if it's a bigger social networking site. You'll notice in the Lightroom Plugin Manager that there's a tempting button labeled Plugin Exchange. So let's click that, and this takes you to the Adobe website where they've set up this site. It's not a great site, and you can get plugins, but these plugins are pretty much all terrible. So what do you know? Photo Upload 500px. This is a plugin which does exactly what we were just showing, and it costs you $10. Except we just found a free plugin, right? And that's the problem with the Adobe Photo Exchange, is the things there are way overpriced. They're more than free, and I like free. And many of the things on there aren't maintained. I don't know why the store never filled in, but your better bet when looking for plugins is just to use Google and search for them. But you can find a plugin for just about anything you want. Another tool from Jeffrey Friedel, the Dataplot tool, is really cool. It goes through your whole library and just looks at your metadata and kind of summarizes it in interesting ways. There's no practical application for this that I can find, but I think it's really fun to kind of see how you take pictures. Now this computer doesn't have all my pictures on it, but I did run the Dataplot tool on my main PC, and this is its analysis of my focal lengths. So you can see I'm pretty commonly working in the 15 to 55 millimeter frequency, and then a lot of pictures taken in the 471 to 500 millimeter range. That's because I have a 500 millimeter lens, and I love wildlife photography, and I tend to take thousands of pictures when you're shooting wildlife, just because you have to hold that shutter down and hope for the best, right? So you can kind of see how you use different focal lengths. Here's a chart of how I use different ISOs. You can see I'm pretty obsessed with perfect image quality, so I'm shooting at ISO 100 as often as possible, and that's why the bar here for ISO 100 is the longest. You can see I tend to shoot on the even ISO, so 200 is more commonly used than 250, and then it jumps up to 400 and 800 again. And I try to avoid the higher ISOs, so it really trails off from ISO 100. Here's the website where you can download the Dataplot tool. So again, it's at Jeffrey Friedel's site, which is regex.info. And it installs just like the previous tools did. Here's another cool, but maybe not practical tool, the Show Focus Points tool. Many cameras actually remember which focus points were in focus when you took the picture, but Lightroom doesn't do anything with this data. It just kind of ignores it. And I don't know why you need to know, right? Because you're probably going to be looking at the pictures to see whether they're in focus, but it doesn't really matter what focus point I don't know, but it's cool and it looks kind of cool, right? So I'll just show you how to get this Show Focus Points plugin here. It's at Lightroom Focus Points plugin.com, and he has a really nice website. So once you download it, you'll be able to install it using the plugin manager, just like I showed earlier. And then from the library menu, go to Plugin Extras and select Show Focus Points. It opens up a separate window that's going to be on top of your Lightroom window, but it will keep up with each photo that you select. There we go. So here we can see 5D Mark II, which didn't have very many focusing points, but I used the center focus point and focused right on this bird's eye. You'll select the different pictures and it will disappear for a second and then kind of reappear, and another photo that it can't actually process. Let's see if we can find another photo. Here's another one with Chelsea, and you can see it overlaid the focus points from the original 5D and older cameras. This is part of my Lightroom 5 video book, which has more than 12 hours of videos just like this, and comes with an entire book. So if you prefer learning by video, you can watch the 12 hours of video. And if you prefer reading a book, you can use the book. I like to watch the video and then use the book for reference. It's a little quicker to just kind of flip to a page and scan a list when I need to remember how to do something. So they work really well together. It's a whole new type of concept. The electronic version of that is less than $10, $9.99. If you want a paperback version of the book, it's $19.99 or less, sometimes on Amazon. Check it out at sdp.io/LR, or just search for Tony Northrup's Lightroom book at Amazon. If you have any questions, write a comment down below, and to see more free videos, subscribe. Don't forget to like and share. Thanks.